actually joined the Air Force in January of 1979, my senior year. And of course, but I had to graduate. And I had to have my parents' permission. Oh, I think about my dad. You know, I think about, you know, he served during the Korean conflict. You know, I remember looking at the pictures thinking to myself, man, my dad looks good. He never looked, you know, he looked handsome, he looked strong. And I just remember thinking to myself, man, I want to be like my dad. I want to be in the military one day. And he wasn't pro-military because back when he served during the Korean conflict, whites and blacks were separated. So when his son came home and told him that he was joining the military, my dad, he wasn't thrilled about that. I think about that poor recruiter that came to my house, that poor Caucasian recruiter that came to my house and had to explain to my dad that going into the Air Force was a good decision. He did a wonderful job. And then all the pride that my dad had as he saw me, you know, move up in the Air Force, and of course he took all the credit. And you know, I think about him. I think about the servicemen in special ops that I got the opportunity to see them. You know, when I look at 0 Dark 30, even though I was nowhere near, it's just that when I look at that camp, it reminds me of when I was there. And it reminds me when those heroes came back. I mean, when the pararescue guys came back and the Navy SEALs came back, and you know, and I remember them getting off the plane, the helicopters, and you know, and going for their debriefings. And just because I had a whole bunch of stripes, I remember them coming, you know, when they see, you know, hey, how you doing, Chief? You doing well? You doing, Chief? And I'm thinking to myself, man, these guys, they're the studs. I just got the recognition because I was a chief in the Air Force, and that feeling is just overwhelming. If I could go back and put those stripes on tomorrow, I would. I would. I always remember that first and foremost, it's an honor to serve with heroes. I served with heroes. Some of them still serve, and I always remember how fortunate I am. I know I didn't have an appreciation for America as much until I joined the Air Force. I was the typical teenage kid, punk kid that thought America owed me everything. And I didn't realize how good and how wonderful it was to live in this country until I left this country.
And now?
And now, every time I pay taxes, I write a check when I write that check, my wife is complaining, I'm writing it with a smile on my face. I say, honey, we get all the benefits of living here, don't complain. My name is Terence Turner, retired Chief Master Sergeant, United States Air Force. And I'm carrying Judge Turner, Jr. He's my dad. He's deceased and he's gone home to be with the Lord. He served during the Korean conflict. And I have yet to uncase my dad's flag since he died. I am going to uncase that flag and I'm going to carry the load with my dad. Who are you carrying?